with a fickle mind, we kicked the nipple beer, steady as a goat, we're flying over trout, ghetto down the highway at the speed of light. All I wanna feel now is the wind in my eyes, sack of monkeys in my pocket, my sister's ready to go. Hear the engines roll now, idiot control now, hideous control now, Nitty on the road now, Mitty in control, wheels on fire, burning rubber tires.
Hello and welcome to the MSTieCast. I'm your host Toby Mobius, and here with my cohort Joshua McLeod.
Hi there. That wasn't a very good Irish accent, but okay.
Scottish.
Scotsman, whatever.
Belgian, French, something.
Deutsch. Anyway, joining us today from Gizmonic Institute Radio, we have Seth and Jeff, who've managed to escape their satellite prison and come down and talk to us. Hey guys, welcome to the cast.
Top of the morning to you.
Thanks for having us.
I didn't know we were doing accents today. Oh, I lost mine. That's too bad. Oh,
no, you have an American accent.
Yeah.
Hey, so do I.
Yay!
I'm suddenly British. Hooray!
Tip top, pip up. So what's up, guys?
Oh, not much.
It's nice to be out of that satellite.
Yeah.
It's cramped.
Yeah.
We had a debate whether we would do it in character or not.
Yeah, so is that happening?
No.
No.
Okay. All right.
You're off the satellite, and you're out of character. Great.
Yeah. We're off of the soundstage.
They left their characters in the satellite.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
Man.
Anyway, as with all guests of the MSTieCast, we want to know how you guys got into the show, Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Well, Seth, do you want to go first, or would you like me to?
I'll take this one first.
Okay.
I was a young lad in down east Maine watching the Comedy Channel, as it was called. There was this commercial for this crazy-looking show with puppet robots and this guy with droopy eyes. And I thought, wow, that looks like a fun show. So this was probably 1991. Yeah, that's when, 92, 91, I started watching it. And for some reason, my crappy hometown only showed, or had the wrong feed. They had the West Coast feed of Comedy Central. So if a show was on at 9, I had to wait till midnight. So every Saturday night, I got to stay up till midnight to watch Mystery Science Theater. And it felt like extra special. And in fact, I think it was more appropriate to watch it at midnight. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm dropping my goes than any other time.
Oh, totally. I'd
I've
sort of
been in it ever since.
Nice. I had sort of a similar story. I had a friend in, I think it must have been like 5th or 6th grade. We'd always spend the night at his house because his parents had, they had satellite TV, and he also had an N64.
Wow.
And yeah, I know, he was like the coolest kid. And that's why we put up with him. We all were over at his house at a sleepover, and we all wanted to play ClayFighter 64 because we had a great taste in entertainment. And he's like, no, guys, I rented this tape. from Hastings. And we're like, all right, we want to play ClayFighter 64, but since, it's whatever, you'll go to sleep, and then we'll play ClayFighter 64. And it was the Mitchell episode on VHS tape. And I was just immediately like laughing my ass off, my 5th grade ass off, and just like, what is this? What is this thing that we're watching right now? Why is it so funny? And then found out that it was way better than ClayFighter. I had no idea. Yeah, and found out that it was on TV, and it was also on channels I didn't get, and so I would occasionally just go over to his house and try and see if it was on, and I would watch it when I was at my grandparents' house because they had Comedy Central as the channel was on at the time, and then Sci-Fi when it went to Sci-Fi, and yeah, just immediately fell in love with that Mitchell VHS tape.
I think you were that close to being a ClayFighter fan.
Well, I mean, I still was because like I said, there's no accounting for the taste of a 5th grader.
Do you think had you ended up playing ClayFighter, you'd be on a ClayFighter podcast?
I probably, I would. Oh man, what would that be called? What was the Snowman guy? The Snowman guy was my favorite guy.
Snowman.
I don't even remember.
Snowmaniac. I don't know.
Snowmaniac. Yeah, we call it Snowmaniacs, and it would be about ClayFighter 64. Would constantly be putting together internet petitions for them to remake ClayFighter 64.
Right.
Was that a Midway game? Because they went out of business.
I think it was.
Yeah. I think they went out of business because of ClayFighter 64. I mean, certainly there were other bad decisions they made along the way, but it was definitely ClayFighter.
Not making more
Yeah.
ClayFighters was a bad decision.
Mm-hmm.
But that has nothing to do with Mr. Science Theater.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I've hijacked your internet show.
It's okay. You've clearly never listened to any of our other shows.
No, when you said conversation, that's Seth and I definitely, our expertise is just going off the rails of any conversation.
Yeah.
This is the first time we've ever talked about ClayFighter 64 though. So we're good.
We're gonna be on this one for a couple weeks.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You're among friends here because we go off the topic pretty much every episode we do.
Okay.
We'll spend a good 30 minutes off the topic.
Doctor Who, Scooby-Doo, movies about vagina come to life.
And
All right.
talk.
Like teeth.
Oh, ClayFighter 64.
Yeah.
Occasionally we'll talk about Mystery Science Theater, but no one wants to hear about that.
What? Everybody wants to hear about that.
I feel like I need to correct myself. My friends and I called it ClayFighter 64, but it was actually ClayFighter 63 and a third was the real name of the game.
Oh, it's so much worse.
Yeah. I feel ashamed now.
And Jaguar version.
The snowman's name was Bad Mr. Frosty the Fighting Snowman. So
Hell of a name there.
yeah, that's kind of better than I anticipated, although I like Snowmaniac. That's pretty good too. So,
How does he fit that on the business card? Really
Bad
small
Mr.
font, I imagine.
Better, yeah. How does he put that on a business card without getting sued by Wendy's?
Or the real Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess I didn't see when I said Frosty. I just thought of Wendy's. I didn't even think of Frosty the Snowman. That's probably where they got the name, huh, guys?
No,
You don't think
it's
so?
definitely from Wendy's.
Yeah.
There's that other character in ClayFighter, the bowl of chili and baked potato man.
Yeah. And there's the hamburger, and he's called Whopperdoodle for some reason.
That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah. Junior Bacon Death Burger. That one's better.
I'm pretty sure that's an actual Wendy's item, too.
Junior Bacon Death Burger. Yeah, probably.
Oh, wait, it's the Baconator. I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
Is that the one with all the meats in it?
Yes.
Okay.
Mushroom.
Literally
All of the meats.
You got your pork, your veal, your venison.
Your panda.
Panda, what's put it over the top.
Mm-hmm.
You see the video of the I think it was Japanese Burger King that had like 20 pounds of bacon on their burger.
Yeah.
That was
That's
insane.
that's insane. You wonder how people in Asia always seem so fit. Eat 20 pounds of bacon.
Maybe they know something about bacon we don't.
And eat hundreds of hot dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, Kobayashi. Shout out to my boy.
Holler.
Yeah, so
Just here.
ClayFighter 64 and Baconators from Wendy's. That's how I got into MST3K.
Good to know. Good to know.
That was a way better story than mine. Mine was like, I saw a commercial, and I watched it.
Yeah, you sheep.
It's better than our
No, I'm
stories.
glad I let in, because...
It's better than my story. My story was I was in like 5th grade. I saw a little bit on Sci-Fi Channel. I was like, this is stupid, and I changed the channel because I was stupid. And then I didn't get back into it until I was in high school. And for the record, I'm 19, so...
We put it this
But
way,
I remember when I
was in high
first
school,
saw-
I think MST3K was off the air, but I'm not sure. No, that's not right at all.
It was off the air by the time I was in middle school.
It went off in 99. No, it didn't go off the air. It ended in 99. It went off the air in January of 2004.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I was in college when it went off the air.
I was in grad school. No, I wasn't. Just kidding. I'm not educated.
I was in Antarctica fighting bears.
Yeah.
Not even polar bears, just
bears.
Just bears. They ship them in for me to fight.
They shouldn't have been there, so...
It's technically international waters, so you can do whatever you want with the panda.
There are no laws on the ice.
Actually, I don't think there are any laws in it.
No, that's oh
I
man,
tampered in God's domain.
that's cool.
That's why Mr.
Technically
Frosty
makes you a
is allowed
mad
to fight.
scientist.
Yes, exactly.
At what point did you two meet up and decide to do this show?
Oh, man.
Well, it may surprise you to know that we've actually never met. Yeah. Well, I mean, are you guys from the same city, or have you
No.
ever met in real life?
No,
Okay.
Toby's
No.
from Georgia. I'm from Missouri.
Okay. Hey, well, I'm from Kansas, And
we should meet up.
Maine.
yeah, we could be the only two people to ever meet in real life on this whole podcast thing. Yeah, and yeah, Seth lives up in Maine. No, okay, so Seth, can I tell our origin story because it makes me excited?
I know, I love it.
Okay, so in 2008, I was attending Kansas State University, and I was writing a daily comic for their newspaper, and I was also working at a graphic design job, pretty much full time. And I'd listened to a lot of podcasts, and one of the podcasts I'd listened to is Rebel FM, which is a video game podcast because I'm into video games. If you couldn't have known from my ClayFighter 64 tirade I went on, they're talking about their favorite podcasts outside of Rebel 64, and someone mentioned a podcast called The F List, which was a podcast that where they would watch a different bad movie from Netflix every week, and then they would kind of poke fun at it and like talk about how bad it was and all sorts of stuff. So I looked up this podcast and started listening to it. I was like, man, this is really funny. And because I was writing this comic in the Collegian, we were also online on our own personal website. We had a pretty good readership, and so I was like, I need to tell people about this podcast. So I wrote a blog post on our comic website about how everyone should listen to this F-List podcast. And then Seth, I think I sent it to you in an email maybe. I was like, hey, I wrote this up for you guys. Just you probably wouldn't have seen it otherwise. But
for a long time, you were Jeff from You Suck.
Yes, I was. Yeah, and so they gave a shout out to our comic on their show, and I would listen every week. I'd occasionally write you guys letters and stuff. Yeah, and we kind of made this internet friendship, and the years went by, and you guys actually kind of put the show on hiatus.
We just kind of stopped doing it.
Yeah, and then I started my own podcast because I was like, I should get into this. So, I like comedy. So I started a show and had Seth and one of the other cast members, Trey Delish, on for a thing we called the Bad Movie Olympics, where we each picked a bad movie and tried to see whose was worst based on arbitrary criteria that we all kind of picked out. Then you guys started up the F List again because you're like, we need to do our own show after doing the Bad Movie Olympics. And then you asked me to be on as a guest on your first episode, and then
the chemistry was there, man.
Yeah, and I kind of just was a guest on every other episode until I became a cast member. And then we did that every week, and then we kind of both discovered we had a mutual love for Mystery Science Theater 3000 and decided to do Gizmonic Institute's radio. Mm-hmm. And we talked about it.
1 year later, we finally started doing
talked and planned it for a whole year, and then then we started the show. And our first episode, we recorded it in November of last year, and then tweaked it and stuff, and then released it in January of 2012.
Started the new year off right.
Hell yeah!
Bang.
It's pretty serendipitous that two Mystery Science Theater podcasts started around the same time.
Yeah. When did you guys? Your first episode was in about October of 2011.
Was in October, I think late October, and we've been planning it for about 2 weeks.
Okay.
What Toby's trying to say is we were first.
Oh, that's fine.
And we deserve the Twitter name MSTieCast podcast. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, you should have.
You should have on Twitter. So.
Yeah. We're the first.
Actually, we were first on Twitter.
Oh well.
I made the thing like a week after the show.
Yeah. Well, our whole Twitter handle, the MST3K _podcast, was because Gizmonic Institute's radio is too long for Twitter. So I was just like, crap. This. Are we allowed to swear in here? Do you guys swear?
Go for it. We'll do it later if we want to.
All right. I was like, this is already taken, and and then I was like, okay, what? Okay, MST3K podcast. That's kind of schlocky because but it says what it is, and yeah, all right, I'll do it. And it wasn't taken. I was surprised that it wasn't already taken by someone else, but
yeah.
In hindsight, I should have gotten that one too.
Yeah.
Hey man, make us an offer.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you $3.
No.
$3 and a piece of string.
10.5 million.
Yep. We'll meet you in the middle.
$4 and a nickel. It's a very shiny nickel.
This is just like Pawn Stars.
Is it? I've never watched that show.
A lot of haggling on Pawn Stars. It's great.
Haggling over crap no one cares about.
I'll give you $5 in this key that I don't know what it goes to.
That's 3 keys.
Oh man, it's like
on
any
bus.
Ooh.
Could it go to a robot that my dead dad built for me to learn about feelings? That's a
could
pot of
be.
Hugo. That's a pot of
It
Hugo.
could open a locker. You don't know.
All right.
That locker could be stuffed with cash.
Or
Or it could
cats.
have tiny aliens like in Men in Black 2 that nobody saw.
Or other keys.
Or it could be the locker that opens to the big locker full of giant aliens.
Yes.
Wasn't that the end of the first movie? Or the second
Yes.
movie?
Yeah, end of the first movie.
Okay, yeah.
No, wait, that was the second movie. The first one was the Marvel ending.
Okay.
Well, I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Men in Black, bro.
I've only seen it once. How could you have watched it more than that?
I had the soundtrack when I was a kid. It had some sweet raps on it.
Okay, I had the soundtrack to Ghostbusters 2 when I was a kid, and I don't even like Ghostbusters 2.
Whoa!
I like Ghostbusters 2.
Oh boy, we're gonna have a fight.
A lot
Alright.
of people don't. I'm the resident Ghostbuster, but a lot of people don't like Ghostbusters 2. I do, and whatever.
I
So cool.
kind of think it's like Phantom Menace in that I don't even
Hey now.
acknowledge that it exists.
Hey.
I didn't
I'm
see the
fighting
Ghostbusters
words.
movie till like
Ghost,
2 years
it's
ago.
like Blues Brothers 2000. It was completely.
Nobody likes nobody likes Blues Brothers 2000.
Ghost
No,
Brothers.
that's Dan Aykroyd. It doesn't even like it.
Only when
nobody-
he's drunk on his Crystal Skull vodka will Dan Aykroyd acknowledge Blues Brothers 2000.
There are things I don't like about Ghostbusters 2, but I like that it wasn't let's fight Gozer again and let's bring back the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
That's the one
No,
where they're fighting
it
a scary
had-
guy in a painting, right?
Yeah,
Yes, in the
Vigo.
River of
Okay.
Slime.
Yep.
And
They're
I think,
fighting.
honestly,
Vigo.
if anything, they're fighting more with the city than they are.
That's the
Yes.
one where they cover the Statue of Liberty in slime, and then they use an NES Advantage controller to make the Statue of Liberty walk through New York while they sing "Put a Little Love in Your Heart."
And
Yeah,
Seth,
now
you're
that
telling
I've
you don't like this movie? Because that sounds pretty awesome.
No, it doesn't sound awesome when you.
And then Rick Moranis becomes a Ghostbuster.
Yeah, see, everybody's dream comes true eventually.
And then he recorded a country western album.
Mhm,
And then he dropped off the planet.
Well,
He
no,
retired-
no. See,
retired
first
from
he played a
acting.
Canadian moose, and then he dropped off the planet.
Yeah.
Right. No, he's retired to spend more time with his kids.
After his wife died.
We shrunk. Yes.
Yeah. He killed his wife, shrunk the kids.
Shrunk the kids.
He stole the Master's miniaturization ray from Doctor Who.
Oh, I don't know anything about new Doctor Who. I'm
That's
sorry.
This is old Doctor Who.
Oh, it is?
He.
Now,
the
when you say
Master
old,
Ray,
are you
I
talking
mean,
like
1984, I think.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
The Master had this ray, and he would zap people, and it would shrink them, and also kill them for some reason.
Well, it's when you shrink, it throws off your whole metabolism.
It shrinks everything but your heart.
Well, it kills everything but the Doctor because Time Lord.
Yeah.
Right.
Of course.
It kills robots too, strangely.
Oh, weird. Well, are they alive to begin with?
Little robot.
This
Yeah.
is so some shady ethical.
Yeah. Can you
Well,
kill a
Well,
robot?
the robot sacrificed himself to save the Doctor, but then he wanted to die. So
Yeah.
Oh, the emo Doctor. I remember that.
the fifth Doctor.
Yeah, he put on like a Bauhaus album.
Hey guys, the emo Doctor Who would be called Doctor Who Cares.
That's a good one.
So what's the show about again? It's like bread or something, right?
This show?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The breadcast.
Potato, my favorite kind of bread.
Potato bread is good. I'm a big fan of anything but white.
Okay.
Not a white bread fan.
African American bread is delicious, though.
I'm going to cheat it, and I'm going to say sweetbreads.
Is that a... Okay. I guess
Those
if it has bread in the title.
I like Mountain Dew bread.
Code bread.
I don't know. Probably. There's Mountain Dew cupcakes, so maybe.
Yeah.
I did not know there were Mountain Dew cupcakes. How does that
What
work?
else are you gonna eat at the top?
It was
Sure.
invented by the angry video game nerd's wife. So,
Okay. All right. Fair
That
enough.
guy's married.
Yeah, that guy with the glasses is getting married. I think like next month.
There's someone for everyone. If you're out there and you're thinking, man, I'm lonely, well, just know there's someone for you who will make you Mountain Dew cupcakes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the MSTieCast, isn't that our show, Toby?
Yeah. What are we, a bus or something?
I don't know. Maybe you guys should talk about what your show is.
All right. I'll let you take this one, Seth, since I rambled on for 5 minutes in the last.
So that's our origin story.
Yeah. Well,
It's important.
yeah, it is.
Our show is an episode by episode companion to the Mystery Science Theater series. The whole gist of it is we were captured, tricked by Dr. Odd into watching our favorite TV show, which was Mystery Science Theater 3000, aboard his spaceship station sort of thing. While and we have adventures at the beginning of every show.
It's kind of like a radio drama style,
like
sort of
radio drama that we do, and Jeff writes some episodes, I write some episodes. We have guests on sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, we had Justin McElroy.
And we originally started out. We have two kind of ancillary characters other than ourselves. Dr. Odd, who is voiced by Matt Clark,
who's the best person ever.
Yeah, he's a fantastic guy. He's one of the writers for the now defunct MTV Multiplayer. He writes for
Macworld.
What Macworld? Yeah, I was gonna say the big Macintosh magazine now.
And he writes for the MTV Movie blog.
Yeah, and you met him through One Up because you guys were both freelancers through there.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and then the guy who, back to our origin story, the guy who animated the comic I used to write, a guy named Nolan Fabricus. He does the voice of Nullbot, who's creatively named for the first name of Nolan.
He's a robot. It's a Nullbot.
Yeah, and their characters actually started out as, we were kind of gonna go with few episode arcs as them as guests, and they became kind of permanent characters.
Right.
As we enjoyed our interactions with them so much.
And when I'm writing, I don't mean to, but when I'm writing, the story just becomes about the relationship between Dr. Odd and Nullbot, even though I don't mean for it to be that way.
And my writing style is more of how stupid Seth and I are in this fiction, and then how quickly Nullbot gets upset with us, because we managed to create a robot that was considerably more intellectually intelligent than we were, and then how Dr. Odd agrees with us because he's also a very stupid mad scientist.
Right.
Yeah.
With hilarious consequences.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a comedy show with like comedy drama, which is bookends what we call the audio log section.
Right,
which
that's
is
the companion to the episode. Chronologically, we're watching every episode of Mystery Science Theater.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the audio log where we just basically break the show down segment by segment, talk about it, give our impressions, talk about like our 5 favorite riffs of the show, whether we liked if we liked the movie and we liked the show, like everything together as one cohesive package.
Because neither of us going into the show, I think, would consider ourselves Mystery Science Theater 3000 experts at all. We'd watched a considerable number of episodes.
Enthusiasts.
Yes, and so during our watching of every episode chronologically, through interactions with fans and interactions with actual experts. Like the gentleman who runs MST3K info.com is
Sampo.
Actually Chris Sampo. Thank you. I couldn't think of his name. He's written into our show a couple times, telling us stuff that we had no idea about previous episodes, and so we're kind of becoming experts in MST3K, but we're not. And
we're crowdsourcing.
Yeah, we're crowdsourcing our expertise and just kind of learning as we go, which is. I will always refer to MST3K to anyone who's willing to listen as my favorite TV show of all time. So being able to know a whole lot about something that I consider my favorite anything of all time is kind of cool.
And how?
Yeah.
Crowdsourcing expertise. Truly, we live in the future.
Yeah.
I know, it's so great.
Mm-hmm.
Say nothing about the fact that we're talking and we live in 4 different states.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
It's the magic of the internet.
Yeah, it's a wonderful place.
I was going to make a joke about the Otternet, but that seems too crass.
That's the other thing we do. We just take things from real life and we put odd in front of the name, like Odopedia.
Oddphone. Yeah, the Oddphone 4S, which its automated companion is called Sorry.
Does it ever get hard watching them in order? Because we talked about how much we don't care for season 1 in a previous show.
Now, here's the thing. I also was of your philosophy that season 1 was just not very good. But watching it like this with an eye for dissecting each episode has given Jeff, I believe I can speak for you when I say it's given us a better appreciation for season 1, like one that I had never had before.
Yeah,
like J. Weinstein as Servo, he gets in some amazing lines that just fly completely under the radar.
It's I definitely had, before the show started, I think I'd probably seen maybe 2 or 3 episodes out of the season 1, just because I'd start watching them. It's not Kevin Murphy as Tom Servo. It's not, it's not the cast, or at least parts of the cast of the, the show that I like. And everything just kind of seems like the sets are a little janky. I don't know. The intro's a little bit different than like the season 3 through 5 with Joel, which is, kind of the episodes that I first watched when I was, first getting into the show. And yeah, I never really given it a chance, but like Seth said, dissecting it and really getting into it and having to watch the episodes, there's some pretty good episodes in season 1, like Moon 02, one of the most recent ones we watched. That's a great movie for them to riff, because it's the perfect riffing movie. There's nothing really dark in the, like, plot wise in the movie. It's just kind of this lighthearted moon romp that they're just, it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous movie. And the most recent one we watched this week was Untamed Youth, and that was actually a really good episode too.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite ones of season 1 so far.
Yep. Women of the Prehistoric Planet, another good episode.
Yep.
And it's also neat to see, watching from the beginning up through, we're 2 episodes from the end of the season now, and just to see how things have changed, how the cast is finding a rhythm with each other. You can kind of see how the writing is maturing and evolving into the quality of the later seasons. Yeah, it's kind of cool to watch that as it happens, being able to watch them in order. It's kind of neat. So yeah, maybe you should go back and try it. It might give you a different perspective on season 1, or you'll still hate it and you can't call time spent watching MST3K wasted time.
Well, I swore off Robot versus the Aztec Mummy long ago. So,
oh yeah?
Yeah, I'm not watching that one again.
You didn't like the that was a pretty terrible movie.
Yeah.
Oh god, the worst robot.
I was just gonna say, do you know the story behind the movie?
It was it was originally a Mexican movie.
Yes.
I guess I don't know the.
It's the third in a series. It's either the third or second in a series of movies. And when they're talking about the robot and the Aztec stuff, that's all stuff from the first movie.
Okay.
So that if you're wondering, like, why are they informing us in this way, it's because.
So it was kind of like a really long Commando Cody.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty terrible.
Oh,
no,
Commando Cody.
I would prefer them ripping a really long Commando Cody, but.
Oh, I don't know. That's one thing that I actually flip-flopped on, because I liked the shorts. And Commando Cody is particularly one of my favorites going into season 1, but having to watch so many episodes in a row of that dumb show.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's just the worst. Like that Commando Cody's gross. But Robot versus the Aztec Mummy is our current we give out arbitrary awards on our show. And it's our current award winner for most promising title of a movie that fails to deliver.
It should have been a slam dunk.
Yeah. Okay, you got a robot, and then you have an Aztec mummy. So like it's like
Not
an
a normal
Egyptian mummy,
Well,
but
I
it's
should
way more intimidating.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was kind of. Well, I guess I was going to say it predicted the end of the world, but those are Mayans.
That's the Maya.
Yeah, I know.
It's the Aztecs. They cut off your head and then play soccer with it.
Okay, yeah, it's a mummy that will do that fighting a robot.
Oh,
Like Seth said, it should have been a slam dunk. That should have been a character in ClayFighter 63 1/3.
The Aztec Mummy or the robot or both?
Both.
Robot
Combine them.
Aztec Mummy. Oh, $1 million.
Yep.
Dear Brendan Fraser, I have an idea for your next movie.
You went to Tibet. Now it's time to go to Central America.
Find an Aztec mummy and a robot.
Yes.
The robot can be made by Nikola Tesla or something.
Oh man, actually, Brendan Fraser remaking Robot versus the Aztec Mummy.
It sounds
would-
kind of awesome, actually.
Yeah, Elizabeth Hurley could be in it because I really like their chemistry from Bedazzled.
I'm saying. It just pops.
It's great. I love it.
I remember when I was younger, I
Yeah.
thought he should have been in the movie version of Pitfall.
Yeah,
I could kind of see that.
Yeah, Pitfall Harry kind of character. He's got lovable. He's got those weird eyes that sort of look like they're looking in different directions.
And
Yeah.
plus, he was in George of the Jungle, so he's really good
Yeah.
at swinging on vines.
When you said George of the Jungle, I immediately thought of Krippendorf's Tribe for some reason, and I was picturing scenes from
God.
that movie.
With Richard Dreyfuss?
Yep, but it's not the same thing at all.
No.
Eh, oh
I
well.
used to do a really great Richard Dreyfuss, but I don't think I can do it.
What a terrible celebrity to be able to do an impression of.
Richard Dreyfuss, and this is Krippendorf's Tribe.
Mr. Sherman.
What?
You sound like
Oh.
Sherman.
I did.
Peabody.
Oh my God! I didn't mean to, but
No,
I did.
Mr. Peabody.
Mr. Peabody
Mr.
from
Peabody.
the
I'm
old
Shannon.
Bullwinkle and Rocky Bullwinkle show.
What happened to was Peabody? Quiet, you.
Don't tell your parents about this.
I'll tell them about all the bad things you've done.
I wonder if that movie's still happening.
The Rocky and Bullwinkle movie?
No, after Rocky and Bullwinkle, they were going to do Peabody and Sherman.
Probably
No,
not after
I
the
hope
not.
disaster that was Rocky and Bullwinkle, the motion picture.
Yeah.
Why don't
Yeah.
we make a movie about these characters that were in the show probably so we could get some funding from the Board of Education? Why would we don't need to talk about that.
Yeah.
Although that would
There.
probably be a much more interesting film.
Possibly, yeah. I guess
A talking, time-traveling dog and Moose and Squirrel.
who would do the voice of the dog? Let's stunt cast this.
Kelsey Grammer.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah. Kelsey Grammer. Who would do the voice of the boy? I
Shia
think,
LaBeouf.
probably
It will
some
be Shia
kid
LaBeouf in a
actor.
live-action role.
Or Shia LaBeouf, yeah.
or the whoever does the voice of.
Peabody!
It should be The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Directed
Or-
by
or-
Michael Bay.
Yeah, or the kid who does the voice of Jake from Adventure Time.
And Finn.
Yeah. Or Finn, yeah, sorry. Finn.
Justin Bieber with glasses on.
And the boy, Jake the dog.
Actually,
I don't know who
I
would play Rocky or Bullwinkle.
I could see the kid from Adventure. I'm trying to remember his name.
Jeremy Shada.
Jeremy Shada. Yeah, I could see him being Sherman.
Okay.
Put some orange in his hair, put some glasses on him.
I think if you could get Jason Segel to do the voice of Rocky, it might be good. Jason Segel getting involved with the project usually makes it pretty good.
Oh, he's like Midas.
hmm
Everything he touches.
He touches Muppets. Not in that way, but yeah.
He touches small boys
And
who are owned by dogs, apparently.
yeah.
Fictional.
The kind of Family Guy sort of ripped off the Peabody and Sherman sort of relationship.
Yeah, except
Yeah.
without the time traveling shenanigans.
No, they did
No,
that.
they time traveled.
I gave
Road-
up on the show.
Road to Berlin, Road to the Multiverse. That's not really time travel, but
The one where they go back to the 80s.
yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, but Stewie didn't go back to the 80s.
But it,
Just,
it was
like the time we went back to the 80s.
Da-da-da-da-da.
and then another.
Yep, that was the best part of that episode, I think.
Yeah, so nice they did it twice.
Yep.
The Die Hard reference was okay too. And Never Gonna Give You Up. And honestly, he kind of has the voice to pull that song off.
Yeah, Seth MacFarlane is a very talented vocalist.
I liked his album.
Yeah.
Don't care for his movie, and I haven't even seen it yet.
Which movie?
Ted, not the
Huh.
teddy bear that's gonna talk.
And it sounds like
I-
he was ripping.
I hate it already.
Yeah, I can't get behind that.
Nope.
He was
Yeah.
in The Tooth Fairy for like 5 minutes.
Wow, you saw the Tooth Fairy?
Starring
No.
Dwayne The Rock
No.
Johnson. Bring it back.
Oh, I
No.
watched a review of it. I'm not stupid.
Hey, true fact, Tooth Fairy 2 stars Larry the Cable Guy.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I was
Another
seconds-
direct links to McFarlane's awfulness. He was in Enterprise.
Oh, really?
Yes, he was a crewman.
Oh, I hope he was a red shirt.
Nope, he was an engineer.
I didn't know that at all. That's
Hey, he was
No
on
way.
an episode of Grounded for Life.
Yeah,
was
we
actually
remember
No, not Grounded for Life. That was actually
Ward
no,
Home.
that.
Ward
Ward
Home.
Home.
it had that
Oh,
guy from that thing. He was, in that movie.
49 minus 17. Actually, it could be your father.
What
No.
was the show?
Ward
Come
Home.
on, it had that guy in it.
War at Home. War at Home.
What?
War.
Is that
We're
it?
at
Yeah,
home.
the kid from all that. You had
They had the Harry Potter kid from all that, and the guy
the
from
guy who was in Bamboozled.
and he was on Chappelle's show.
Yeah.
He was the
It-
white cop copy employee. He was in
You know?
a few good movies.
If you folks at home know his name, write to us, care
Michael
of.
Call us in right now on the hotline.
It's Michael Rappaport.
Yes, Michael.
Did you look it up? Hold on. Did you look it up?
No, I just know because I like that show.
Okay.
I have War at Home season 1 on DVD.
No.
$5 at a Big Lots.
Okay, that's acceptable.
I'm not kidding. But I like the War at Home, and I'm glad I purchased it for $5.
I'm sure Michael Rappaport thanks you.
He saw like 7 cents from that.
He's like, whoa, my residuals.
Yeah.
Tears open the check. There's a check for 7 cents.
Hey, that 7 cents helped him pay the tax on a McDonald's purchase, so he's welcome.
Hey kids, today we're eating dog food, not cat food.
Yay!
Slightly step up.
Yay.
There's a lot less ash.
A lot of ash in cat food.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah,
I don't
the
have a
lower-
cat.
Yeah. That's why they make that special cat food for urinary tract infections, because normal cat food gives cats urinary tract infections.
Oh gross.
Well, then why don't they
It's
just
full of-
give? Why don't they just give them the other cat food? And
Well,
So they can
because then-
charge more for it.
Right, they can
Genius.
charge more. They're creating.
Evil genius.
getting back on the topic of Mystery Science Theater 3000, does it ever get hard watching them in order?
The episodes?
Oh, I guess
They're-
a better question is why skip KTMA?
Oh, okay.
That's a very good question.
Yeah, that is a good question. I will answer the first one first. Is it ever hard watching them in order? Kind of, because I know there are ones later seasons that are just great episodes. I'm really looking forward to watching. And when you do get one of those lemon episodes, I'm sitting there thinking, oh man, I wish this was like Pod People or something instead. As to the KTMA, the first 3 episodes of season KTMA aren't available anywhere. Not even on like Digital Archive Project or anything. They just, for all intents and purposes, don't exist. And so it was weird to have to start with I think the Green Slime was the first one, KTMA episode 3.
Green Slime? No. The third episode is Star Force. That's not available. So you'd have to start with Barugon, Gamera versus Barugon.
Okay, episode 4, yeah. It was when we were doing the planning for the show. We were looking at that, how the first 3 weren't available, as well as there's an accessibility issue, and we've kind of run into this with several people have sent us letters and stuff saying, hey, I'm listening to your show, I'm not able to watch along right now because these episodes aren't on Netflix or on Hulu, or they're not in the DVD sets that I have because they're not as readily available, easily distributed. And with the KTMA stuff, I mean that stuff, unless you're a savvy downloader from somewhere like the Digital Archive Project, most of that's just not even available to you. So it was partly because we would have had to start at episode 4, which would have been weird, and we would have had to explain that. And also because the whole idea was to create something that a fan base that we would eventually develop would be able to watch along with us, and then give their 2 cents about the movie, and write us things on Facebook, write us letters, and kind of experience the whole of Mystery Science Theater 3000 as a show with us as we were doing it as well. And including the KTMA stuff would have made that real hard for some people and not made our show as accessible.
Have you seen the KTMAs?
Yeah, I've seen less of them than the season 1, and they're also kind of rough.
Oh yeah.
Joel working in a satellite loading bay,
Polishing switches to make his way.
He's
Yep.
got long hair. I can't.
He only has long hair during the title.
Oh really?
He doesn't have long hair after the, I think, 4th episode.
They use the old adage of using lemons to make lemonade in the song. There's not a whole lot of I do know this is another kind of crowdsourcing thing. We've had fans who have watched all the KTMA episodes that are available and will kind of alert us to the kind of the skits that they do, the breaks that they do that are refilmed segments of KTMA bits and things like that. So I guess there's a lot of overlap with the skits that they do between segments.
Like that one that Servo's not in.
Yeah, or the tag one, I guess, is a famous rehash of the KTMA.
So weird, but one of my favorites for some reason. I don't know why.
The tag one.
Yeah, where they're just running back and forth between.
Oh, the tag. I was thinking
yeah.
of like a tag from a shirt or something.
No, yeah, they're playing tag.
They're playing
yeah.
tag.
I think that's probably the most divisive in between movie segment on the show because Seth loves it and I hate it.
I don't know that I love it.
Well,
I really enjoy it.
Sure. You appreciate it more than I do.
Yeah, I'm into that sort of thing. I watched that Fireplace video on Netflix for like an hour.
Which version? The one with Christmas music or the one
Not the Christmas music. No.
Okay, so you watched the regular Fireplace log, not the Yule log.
To be fair, you also watched, what is it? Fireplace in Your Home. That's what it's called. It's good. It's an hour of crackling fire.
The best Christmas movie on Netflix.
It's true.
Yeah.
Enough, I think that is the highest selling Christmas related thing on Netflix.
Yeah, probably.
As well it should be. And then at the end, Santa Claus comes down.
No, he doesn't. I watched it all the way through as well.
Spoilers!
Sorry. There is that part at about 83 minutes where the log on top breaks in half, and
it's so thrilling.
Yeah, it's the tension. It's the dark third act.
It's the ticking clock.
Yep.
Sitting there waiting, knowing it's going to break.
Yeah. Then when it does, what's going to happen? Where are those sparks going to go? On the rug? Oh, no, it didn't. It went out.
That would have made the video more interesting.
You're just watching someone's house burn down to Christmas music. Why is that a genre of movie? Like, they've got a log. Why not just someone set a house on fire and just you watching a house burn?
I could just see someone taking some YouTube video of a house going down and putting some really inappropriate music to it.
See, now I have to do that tonight.
Yeah.
Project viral. It's going to go viral. That's a thing the kids say, right? Viral.
Yeah.
Sure,
Going
why
viral?
not?
Yeah. So?
I'm having fun with this episode.
Yeah.
This is a lot of fun, guys.
Yeah, I like fun.
Yep.
We have never had fun. Usually we just get into fights over...
Really petty things.
Serbo was so not in that sketch.
Yes, he was.
The one where Joel's getting his haircut.
Yeah, he's in that sketch.
He's in the... We got into a fight about this. Yeah, you're right. He's in that one. He's not in the KTMA version of that sketch.
Okay, all right.
So we had a big to do about it, and and I think Fred looked it up.
No, it was Mike, our other
Mike,
host.
yeah, Mike looked it up. We have rotating hosts. It's weird.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Mike looked it up, and I felt smart for one brief shining moment. I don't know what's up with my voice.
Sound like Shaggy.
I'm the squeaky voice team from The Simpsons.
We need to have a talk. Your body's going through changes.
Like what?
You're 19. It's about time you hit puberty.
You're going to start wanting to play ClayFighter 63 and a third. That's normal. All boys your age want to do that.
So which episodes would you say are tough slogs to sit through?
So far, Robot versus the Aztec Mom, we kind of covered that one. Trying to think, there were a few Slime People. I think was the worst one.
When we were watching it, I fell asleep.
Yeah.
For 20 minutes, Jeff was laughing. He started laughing, and I was like, "Wow, what happened for 20 minutes?" I lost.
Yeah. And then you went back and rewatched it. It realized that you fell asleep because it was just voices over fog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also, the Mad Monster was a tough one to watch. Pretty much anything where it's mostly fog in the movie. There's a lot of season 1, or at least 2 in season 1 that are tough to sit through. Because there was just someone rented a whole bunch of fog machines and turned them on. Then it was fog for 90 minutes and people making jokes. Someone on our Facebook compared it to listening to a riff tracks without watching the movie. So Slime People, I think, is our collective was the worst one we had to sit through.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere out there's a guy that loves that episode.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
I bet.
He's writing angry comments on our website right now, and on yours too, because you had us on.
Yeah.
Can't believe you have these Slime People hairs on. That's racist.
Anti-Slimites.
Yeah.
Any later episodes you find tough to sit through, or that you just gave up on halfway through?
There's, Seth, and because I've got one, but
and like through the whole
over the course of the show.
Over the whole course of the show.
I guess I should say that you're not looking forward to watching again.
Well, I'd never. I'm worried I'm gonna steal. Jeff, you go first because I think I'm gonna steal your thunder.
Okay, I'm not looking forward to watching Manos again. just because it's such a bad movie. It's such a bad movie. And the one that I have, there's one Mystery Science Theater 3000 episode I've seen so far. Because there are a few left, I think, that I haven't seen, so I can't speak for all of them. But the one that I haven't, I just was not able to sit through ever, and I've tried several times, is the Hamlet is that from season 8 or 9?
Yeah, I've never seen. That was the one I was going to say because I've heard so many bad things about it. I've never seen it, but I'm not looking forward to it because I've heard so much badness.
It's like it's so bad.
I'm one of the people that kind of likes it just because I studied Shakespeare a lot in school, and I had a drama teacher who was really into it, so seeing it riffed was amusing.
Okay.
And actually, I actually got my English teacher to let us watch that on the last week of school.
Nice. That's okay. You know, if I were watching it in like a high school class, like that would have been I would have totally been into it. But the thing that gets me is because, you know, I went to school for music. I majored in music literature, and there's no music in that movie.
Yeah.
And like a film score is, you know, for someone who music was at one point a big part of their life, and like that's just one thing I appreciate with like cinema and things is you know, a good score. Like that's one of the reasons I love Moon 02 so much, is because the music in that movie is amazing.
That's great.
Yeah. But there's no music in Hamlet, and I'll either fall asleep or just get bored, and I can't do it. So that's gonna be a tough one. But other than that, yeah, Manos, just because the movie's bad. But
I take it you haven't seen Castle of Fu Manchu.
no, I haven't.
Look forward to that one, buddy.
Okay.
Actually, Manos was my first episode, but now it's hard for me to watch it again.
Okay.
So I understand where you're coming from there.
I'm looking forward to this Castle of Fu Manchu episode now.
You shouldn't.
Okay. Well, okay. I'm not looking forward to it with anticipation. Maybe. Dreading.
Wrong.
Maybe I shouldn't have said it to you and then just let you find out about it later.
Before doing our show, I actually made myself go through about a 12-month cleanse of not watching any MST3K, which was hard because I wanted it to be kind of a fresh experience. I didn't want to be like, oh, you know, when I watched this one, you know, 3 months ago. I can't speak for Seth, but I personally haven't watched any episodes of MST3K past where we are in our watching of the show.
I've been good.
Okay, yeah, I've gone back and I've rewatched a couple of the previous ones just because, you know, it's a great show and I love to watch it. For about actually almost a year and a half, 2 years now, I haven't watched anything past MST3K episode 1 or season 1 rather.
That is dedication. I probably couldn't do that because most of my favorite episodes are late Comedy Central sci-fi.
Yeah.
For us, it's like crack.
Yeah. Well, it was for me. Like there were, you know, in college, I would regularly watch MST3K while doing homework, or put it on while I was falling asleep. Like,
yeah, same here.
Yeah. When my first college girlfriend of like 2 years dumped me, I did nothing but watch MST3K in my room for like 2 weeks straight.
Same here.
Weird.
I find it weird that I have to say that.
I thought I was the only one. That makes me feel a little better.
MST3K doesn't judge; it just gives you a gentle hug.
It does. It was just there with me, making me like
side hug,
laughing through the tears with MST3K.
MST3K. It's like your favorite uncle.
True.
Should we say it? Mike versus Joel. Have at it.
We what was it, like the second or third episode? Someone emailed us this, and so we kind of I think we're divided on it, right?
Yep.
Yep.
I'm a Joel man myself.
Yep. I am a Mike guy.
Now that's not to say that I think that Mike is bad, but Joel was the guy that I knew when I was in my peak. Watching them when they were they're coming out new Joel episodes, and then I fell out of it for a little while, and then they replaced Joel with this other guy. Like, who's this guy? I came back, and he's pretty good. He's funny, I guess.
Yeah, he was the guy writing all of Joel's jokes. But,
I know, but I mean, I knew Joel because I moved here, and we didn't have cable or satellite for a while, and then in that time, Joel left and Mike took over. So when we did finally get satellite, and I saw it again, I was like, who's this imposter? Yeah, he's all right, but whatever.
I have to say, like, I was the same way because, Mike Mike was the guy who a majority of the episodes I saw when I was having the show impressed on me and just really developing this love affair with the show were Mike episodes. But, since the beginning of the season, which was the last of our season, which was the last time we were asked this, I have to say Joel has grown on me quite a bit.
It's been weird having your first episode be Mitchell.
It was
Yeah, it's like a classic episode.
well,
And then
I
having him leave at the end.
yeah,
Right.
but that didn't really matter to me because I didn't care about the fiction of the show itself at that point. Like, it was just these people to me it was just like these weird people making fun of a movie, and it was making me laugh. Like, I didn't know anything about the backstory of the characters, or this guy. For all I knew, like, that was something that happened every episode. Is the person escaped at the end. That's a good point. I never really thought of that, but yeah, it was. Maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe I developed this attachment to the show, and then after the end of the first episode, Joel left, and so I had abandonment issues. Maybe that's why I like Mike.
That's why you never let anyone get close to you.
You're smothering me, Seth.
Stop pushing me away.
Yeah, knock it off.
I'm a Joel fan, but it's a weird case for me because my favorite episodes, 3 favorite episodes, are Mike episodes.
Okay.
So it's an odd case. Like, my favorite episode is Soul Taker.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That is my favorite episode, hands down. I can quote pretty much every riff from that episode.
I think that's okay because I just outed myself as a Mike guy, but my favorite episode is the Pod People, and that's a Joel episode. So they're both great. Can't we just agree?
Can't we just all get along?
Yeah, I think they're both great.
There's a lot of people on the internet who don't want that.
Oh.
Don't compare yourself, man. It's not healthy.
Yeah. You've already kind of spoiled the ending, but what are your guys' top 5 favorite episodes and why?
Top 5 favorite. I can't.
Like starting from 5 and then going up to 1. Okay.
I don't know if I have an order for mine.
Okay.
Well, I guess I can try and apply and order them. Can I make my 5th favorite episode just like a combination of all the Gamera episodes?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, that would be my number 5 favorite one. Then I guess after that, probably Catalina Caper is probably my 4-3-1. This is a really tough question to order these. I know that my number 2 favorite episode is Prince of Space, and my number 1 is Pod People. It's the I think EGOT would probably be my number 3 favorite because that was one of the first DVDs I ever actually bought, and I love. Like, I will regularly, when people, like if I'm at work and people are like, all right, see you later, or, I'm in a situation where I have to give a goodbye to someone, I will just cover my mouth with my hand and go, look out for snakes. And nobody gets it, and it's super weird. And, but yeah, so EGOT would be my number 3, and then Prince of Space, and then Pod People is my number 1.
I can tell you that. I don't even remember because there's so many Gamera episodes.
I'll remember them.
Okay, there's my favorite one of all time, and this might be just because, like I said, I didn't have cable, so my friends in Vermont sent me videotapes that they would record, and there was a Gamera episode on there with 2 little kids, and they sing the song, Gamera is really neat, he is filled with turtle meat. That is probably my favorite and most watched episode.
Gamera versus Giron.
Yes, thank you. I love it. I love that when they make so many good jokes. What's that, season 4?
3.
3.
Oh, is it 3?
Okay. 312.
Oh, wow, man. Just like that.
Yeah.
He is the encyclopedia.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
We all feel our little niches here.
Well, it has one of my favorite riffs of all time where, and it's like also super racist where they, it's these little Asian kids and they're about to be eaten. He says, oh, don't eat me. You'll be hungry in half an hour.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, and then, like Mitchell is a great episode. Because my Mitchell.
My apartment.
I have to say, I think that Mighty Jack gets an honorable mention for my top 5 as well.
It's one that people don't talk about enough.
That's true. It's a weird episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
did you guys see the game?
No.
Okay.
Which game specifically?
The game.
The Michael
The
Douglas
one-
movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it.
Ah, it's on Netflix streaming. You should check it out. It's really good.
You guys seen Moneyball?
No.
Movie's
No.
pretty good. It's just that fat kid got skinny and then made that movie.
Right.
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill.
Yep.
Yeah, the best description I saw was on whatwould where they described skinny Jonah Hill as looking like a pedophile who just got off on a technicality.
It's pretty good.
I think when you say that fat kid who got skinny, I think it's more like that fat kid who got less fat.
Okay.
That's a better
Yeah, that's
assessment.
fair enough.
He
Yeah.
defatified.
He did.
That's the scientific.
It's like
method.
Josh Peck was a fat kid who got skinny. Jonah Hill is a guy who got less fat.
Yeah. Drew Carey's kind of in the middle.
Drew Carey just kind of looks weird now.
Yeah. He's like in Men in Black when that alien stole that guy's skin.
Yeah.
That's what Drew Carey looks like.
Put my hands. Oh my hand.
Sure.
So much Men in Black talk.
Really, it's like we're in the 90s,
I-
but
I went as him for Halloween once, actually.
oh, nice.
I wish I could find my outfit because I would do that again.
Oh.
Especially now that I have like the stubbly beard thing.
I dressed as Prince for Halloween one year.
That's pretty good too. Have you guys, any of you guys, ever gone as an MST3K character for Halloween?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Nice.
I went well, not for Halloween. I went to a convention as Dr. Forrester.
Oh,
Nice.
that's pretty good.
With a handmade jacket. It was a maternity shirt that I got from Goodwill, but it was just big enough to be a lab coat.
Nice.
And I actually made my own patch. I made a facsimile of the Deep 13 logo in MS Paint,
Okay.
big enough to print, and then I printed it on.
That's the choice of graphic designers everywhere.
Yeah. Take
This
it from
was way
one who
before I
does
had
it for
Photoshop. I have Photoshop now, but yeah, I had MS Paint. This was 3-4 years ago, and I put it on iron-on transfer paper, and I put it on felt,
Ooh, nice.
and I made a little felt patch,
Nice.
and my mustache was also felt, and I was using these green sunglasses I got at Walmart. But eventually, what I did was I found some Groucho Marx plastic glasses, and I painted the mustache brown with a little white stripe, and then I spray painted the glasses green.
Nice.
And it looks a lot better. And then I put a white stripe in my hair, and I actually got recognized, and that was very surprising.
Costume successful.
Uh-huh.
And then I did it for Character Day at school, and no one got it.
Oh.
My
That's 'cause
teachers
they're
got it,
jerks. Oh, that's well, yeah, because they're cool.
Yeah.
and I had a film canister too.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
You needed a guy to go as TV's Frank.
Actually, I tried to. My friend's hair wasn't long enough to do the curl.
Oh, brutal.
He had like a crew cut back then, and he didn't want to grow his hair out.
Yeah.
'Cause he was an ROTC, so.
Oh, that's not a good look for ROTC.
Roll.
The loop. The
Your
curl.
movie this week is Project Kill, a nasty little stink burger starring a 50-year-old Leslie Nielsen and an Asian Colonel Sanders. Enjoy.
That's pretty good.
I used to be able to do Crow, but I really can't anymore.
I've thought about printing us or getting us some embroidered jumpsuits. I think that'd be fun.
I am
A live show. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, live show. Do a live
That's our
workout.
dream. Is to do
Yeah.
a live show at PAX East.
Yeah, we're in talks right now with we got to get a good guest and got to get some space, but
Well, I know some people who do MomoCon and Anime Weekend Atlanta down here in Georgia. If you guys can come down to that, I'm sure I could, talk to somebody, try to get you, space there. Because there are these guys that do mystery anime theater, where they riff on a Sailor Moon movie because they don't have to pay licensing fees.
no, sure.
Rights in America. So, I could,
As much
maybe
as I
talk
would
to them.
love to go down to a con in Atlanta, the huge advantage of PAX East is that I can take a train and be there in
Yeah.
a day, in like less than a day, in like 3
There's zero advantage to either place for me, so I'd be down for both.
hours.
But I'm fine with that. Oh.
Also, yes, get jumpsuits because jumpsuits are very comfy.
Yeah. Well, I work at a sportswear company where I could easily get something embroidered. So.
and I work for a plumber, so I could easily get a jumpsuit.
Yeah. See, this is why we have such great chemistry.
Bang!
Yeah.
All
Seth-
coming together now.
Yeah. This is why we were both born into our into this world and into our respective professions. Graphic designer and plumber.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I'm like Super Mario's lame friend. That's what I feel like every day.
The one who didn't get to go to the Mushroom Kingdom.
Yeah. It's like, guys, is there going to be a plug-in for my Wacom tablet? Like, no, you stay here. We're going down pipes.
Oh, these are no drivers.
What do you like? Does that have Adobe Illustrator on this castle? Shut up. Shut up, designer. You're too frail. You've never been out in the sun. You would die. A turtle would eat you. Stay here.
You can't jump.
Can I sit in a chair with wheels on it and have you push me?
Well, they could push you, but I don't know if you'd be able to get over the pipes.
Yeah. That should be a character in ClayFighter too. Kid in a wheelchair.
Well, it worked for Ghostbusters, so why not?
Yep. Wheels of Steel.
Wheels of Fire.
Murder Wheel.
Murder Wheel.
They just call him the chair, like it's like the execution thing. It's like, hey, it's the chair.
Copyright, trademark, guys.
Yep.
You can't steal that, even though it's on your podcast.
Yeah. We're gonna make ClayFighter 64 in an eighth.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Guy in wheelchair.
I was at the Midway went under the license. Well, you can pay like $15 to get that thing from them. I think that would actually be. People would buy like an Xbox Live Arcade ClayFighter game, like an updated one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, why not? It would
Put that on WiiWare, I'd buy it.
Yeah, okay.
So I have a Wii, and I hate it.
That's the general consensus of most people who have one these days.
It barely works.
I don't think I've turned mine on for about a year.
I'm pretty sure when you do, it's going to combust from the amount of dust in the catch.
We had,
Probably true.
we had a power outage here. I've told this before. We had a power outage, and then it stopped working. Like, I couldn't turn it on. And then we had another power outage, and it started working again, which is weird.
Oh, weird. Zombie Wii.
Yeah.
Zombie. I'm pretty sure that is a name of a game that's coming out. on-
Yeah, Zombie U. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which sounds like just a university for zombies.
Which sounds like a much more interesting game.
Yeah. It would be like Bully, but with like, it's like Stubbs the Zombie meets Bully. I love it.
Oh no, I'm late for my humanities requirement.
You mean lunch?
Meh.
Yeah, you see
Getting
it
into
because he's a
fraternity is
zombie.
going to suck.
Yeah. What would be like the philosophy of the aesthetics of the undead? That would be a class.
I imagine they'd be more like the zombies from like Ugly Americans than Romero zombies.
Yeah. Yeah. Guys who went zombie.
Also, now that I think about it, Jimmy Hopkins from Bully would be an excellent protagonist in a zombie game.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just beat the crap out of him with a baseball bat and then shoot
Yep.
a potato gun at him.
Jump in with a dirt bike just to
Yeah.
mock the zombie.
Run
pretty
it
good.
over with a go-kart.
Yeah, I mean, what's the use of having zombies if you can't desecrate them?
Yeah. And
Oh,
they're
yeah.
his teachers, so it's even more sweet.
Yep.
I can't
Good
wait
work,
for
guys.
Bully 2. So I think it's
Any-
about time to...
Yeah, any final thoughts?
MST3K is great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with what Jeff said.
Yep. And ClayFighter 64 for life.
Yeah. Woo. That was my. I was calling out the Juggalos.
Oh, you have to rip that game.
ClayFighter Juggalo Edition. Oh my God, we're gonna
They
be
would
so
love
rich.
it.
So
Yeah,
rich.
that's-
Trademark.
Yep.
Trademark.
Hey. So is this where we would tell people where to find us on the internet?
Yeah.
I do believe so.
Okay. Well, you can find Gizmonic Institute's radio at supertotallyawesome.com/Gizmonic Institute's radio, or just go to supertotallyawesome.com and it's on the front page.
Right there for you.
Yep. And Facebook, and as we mentioned earlier, our Twitter handle is MST3K_podcast.
Yeah.
Yep. And if you like vulgar podcasts where we make fun of bad movies ourselves from Netflix, also on Super Totally Awesome is our podcast called The F List.
Mm-hmm. We tend to get a little blue.
Oh, just a little bit. And both of those are also available on iTunes as well.
Yeah.
For your podcasting pleasure.
And of course, all that will be linked in the show notes for your linking pleasure.
Cool.
Huzzah.
You guys are great.
Yay.
Thanks,
Yes,
guys.
we are.
Yeah, thanks for having us on. We had a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
Oh, it was fun having you. It was a really fun interview. Thing.
Good times are had by all.
All right, and this has been the MSTieCast for Fred Fritz and Mike Hagan, who are not here. I'm Toby Milbius,
I'm greedy and stupid.
I'm Jeff Brown.
I'm Seth Macy.
and thank you for listening. Play us out, Neil.
It stinks.